Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gertrude. Hi. My name is Tangma Kpante. My nickname is Lawyer. My mother says I earned that title even before I turned 5 because the little me would give herself permission to speak up for people. I was born on the land of storytelling. In the olden days, after dinner around the fireplace, storytelling was their television and social media. Stories were used to teach culture, traditions, and life lessons from generation to generation. Our clothing and names are stories. Before you ask for the meaning of an African name, make sure you have the time and you are willing to listen to a story. My middle name, Tangma, means the 5 fingers of our hands are not the same, meaning each one of us is different. With our shortcomings and our qualities, every one of us is unique. So you see, Africa is known for rich storytelling, and yet a lot of stories remain untold. At 27 years old, my life was almost complete. I graduated from college. I got my first master's degree. I got the certificate of excellence in college. I went for another bachelor's degree. I completed it with first-class honors, and I came back with a well-paid job upon recommendation from my school. So I was at the top of all my games, except one, my love life. I had broken up with my then boyfriend. I did because I could no longer endure the emotional and psychological weight that relationship was forcing me to carry. But unfortunately, I will be only reminded of what being a woman, an African woman, means. The African woman, like my grandmothers, my mother, has and is strong, brave, courageous. She goes out of her own way to make sure everyone's needs are met, sacrificing her own. But at the same time, she is not allowed to express herself freely. Her thoughts, her disagreements. When she does, she's being disrespectful. The African woman is the one who can endure and tolerate all sorts of abuses, emotional, psychological, financial, sexual, and even physical, without saying a word. The true African woman is the one who knows how to keep quiet. So as a smart student of the culture, when my abusive boyfriend asked to return in my life, I said yes immediately. We got married. By just 6 days after the wedding, he left to where he was based, and I would never see him again. I did hear him about a year later, but only for him to resume with abusive words, asking for a divorce. And even during the 6 days we had to spend together, our honeymoon period, he sexually and physically abused me. 1 out of the 3 women have experienced either physical or sexual abuses. 70% of them have been sexually harassed. We do not even talk about emotional and psychological abuses. How many of women go through that every single day? Because most of the time, those type of abuses do not leave physical wound. But the wound on the inside is more painful and the scars even bigger than physical violence. I could hear my mind and my heart start fighting. My heart was screaming, this is not okay. But my mind was still revisiting the culture, analyzing the situation, and trying to be the true African woman. And as I was still undecided about which one of them to follow, a woman, a neighbor, without knowing what I was going through, offered her piece of advice to the newlywed lady that I was. My daughter, marriage is not easy. There is no place better. No matter what your husband will do or say, just breathe and tell yourself, this one too shall pass. Today, I really wish this woman could listen to me, but she will never have that chance. She died from a heart attack, and her story will never be heard. At only 11 years old, I had to witness my mother learn how to walk again, how to speak again, how to write again, just like my 3-year-old daughter. She lost the use of her arm and her mouth, her speech during a stroke. Last month, I asked her what really happened. And in summary, emotional and psychological abuse. 85,000 of women were intentionally killed in just 1 year in 2017. 50,000 of them by either their intimate partners or their family members. So I ask today, until when should we remain silent? Until when? Today I've rebuilt my life. I am remarried. We have a beautiful daughter. It's not perfect, but at least we do hold the conversation. And that is the first step to change, being able to hold the conversation in our homes. I am also building my businesses, including a nonprofit organization that provides resources and empowers young women in my home country, Togo, to get education and become financially independent. And today I have two missions. The first one is to share my story and what worked for me, so that that woman who is going through abuses and have gone through abuses can get back on her feet, hopefully. The first thing was for me to take on responsibility for my life. This has nothing to do with feeling guilty, just analyzing the situation, what went wrong, and what can I do better the next time? Why did I say yes in the first place, while knowing that he was an abusive boyfriend? And the second thing that I did was to hold tight my dreams. You know, I heard of these young ladies, young girls that were being given out for child marriage at already 10 years old, 9 years old in my country. And I traveled the entire country while going through divorce. And at the same time, my father was battling with cancer. But my dream and my purpose was bigger than my circumstances. And the third thing was surrounding yourself with positive people and things, because your environment can either make you or break you. But I asked myself, what if we could prevent this? What if we could help prevent this? And today I want to share with you three ways we can contribute in reducing abuses in our society. The first thing is economic empowerment. You know, this plays a key role, especially when it comes to abuse, marriages. And for women, when you are economically empowered, when you are financially independent, when abuse takes place, at least you have other options. It's been proven that a lot of women choose to stay just because they do not have other options. I did have other options because I was financially independent, and I was even able to take a lawyer for my divorce. But most women do not, and most girls do not. There is this 70-year-old girl. She is being enrolled in our business support and mentorship program in a few weeks. She's 70 years old now. At only 14 years old, her parents arranged a wedding for her, and she was only able to escape thanks to her uncle. So today, if you can, make sure you invest in the education of a young girl. And the second thing is parenting. It's been proven that children that have gone through abuses, when they grow up, they either become abusers themselves or tolerating abuses. So let's remember as parents that the way we treat our spouses set up examples for those children and tell them how to treat their spouses and what to expect from their spouses when they grow up. I remember one day asking my mother, "Mom, can you hear Daddy speak? The way he's talking to us, is it good?" She said, "Yes, I can hear him. It is not good." And I said, "Why then are you keeping quiet? Why?" And one day I went to my father's room. I was ready to hold that conversation with him. And I can say a lot of things about that conversation that day. But hearing him speak about what they went through when they were children, his own experiences made me realize this thing. Sometimes most parents, most spouses, and some people within our society simply do not know better. If they knew better, they would have done better. They would have been doing better. They are simply replicating what they have gone through themselves. And therefore, the cycle of poverty, the cycle of abuse goes on and on. So as a society, let's make sure that we speak up and we create awareness around violence and abuse. Let's say no to messages that say that violence and abuse of girls, of men and women is okay, because it's simply not. Change may not come in our lifetime. This year, we are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the rights of women to vote here in the United States. It did not happen overnight, but it took some women and some men to tell themselves, we have to do something. And even if we do not live to enjoy it, our children, grandchildren, the next generations will, and will hold us accountable for it, and will thank us for it. Today, it is our turn to speak up against abuses, because if we do not, our children, grandchildren, the next generation will hold us accountable for it. There is this saying that silence is golden. But when it comes to violence, when it comes to abuse against children, women, men, all human beings, silence stops being golden. Thank you so much.